Morning, guys. As it turns out, this swing has been great. I mean, not the best swing ever designed, and I've got some issues with it, but City Girl and I have been enjoying our time on the deck sitting together here. It's been really nice, and last Sunday, before I took her back to the road, she actually had a nap out here. She crawled up and she said it was the perfect size for her. So as you can imagine, napping out here on the deck in the cool breeze, and it was really nice. So not much going on these days. I'm waiting on delivery of my rain screen for my cladding, on the external cladding, which should be on its way. Other than that, my main priority is Firewood, which is coming along nicely. Don't have a whole lot more to do. Maybe a couple of days worth. There's a few other things I'm going to show you. We got our portable AC working on Saturday, so I'll show you that, what I did there. And I also had a problem with my PC that I'll show you what the problem was and how I temporarily fixed it. Oh, little girl. And another thing I want to do is clean out these gutters. Now the gutters, they tend to get all gooped up, and that's where the green comes from in my water. My rain barrel water has the algae. And they're very hard to clean, not because, well, they're hard to clean mostly because of the ladder situation out front here. The ground kind of, what do you call that? The ground goes down from here. And it's very treacherous in some spots. On that side it's not too bad. On this side it is much worse because of the rocky situation there. You okay, little girl? You sneeze? Anyway, so I'm gonna try that. I've tried it before. It didn't go very well. It'd be nice if I could stand on the roof, but standing on the roof over a 20-foot drop is a bit scary. It's not 20 feet. It's maybe 15 feet. I don't know. I haven't seen a mosquito on the deck in like weeks, and there's one right now. Strange. Okay, what is it, little girl? What is it? So my PC, what was happening was it was running really laggy. First my live stream was laggy, and then I noticed rendering times were laggy, and then even watching YouTube videos it was lagging. Couldn't make sense of it, but it seemed to be a video issue. At first I thought it was video software, like a driver issue, and then I thought it was the hardware. These cards are huge, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. That's like the whole video card here. It's got 2 fans on it. And I thought maybe it was getting too hot, so I checked the fans, but everything seemed to be working fine. And then I noticed in one software tool I have that the CPU temperature was getting up to like 100 degrees Celsius. And when it does that, when it gets that high, it slows down the CPU cycles to keep the temperature at 100. So that's what the problem was. This fan just wasn't turning. And I noticed that I could flick it and it would try to run, but then it would just stop. And I didn't see any obvious problem with the fan. I tried unplugging it, plugging it back in. But in the meantime, I knew that was definitely the problem, and I knew I had to do something about it. In the meantime, though, I had to get that CPU cool so I could actually use my PC. In comes the inline fan, which I had purchased for my battery venting. This was supposed to go under the cabin, but I haven't used it yet. So I thought, well, for the now time, we'll just try and use it. So the fan tries to turn on, it does not. So I put this on here. Really just rested it here. Found an open power port here and plugged it on in. The only problem is with this setup, it's noisy. It's noisy. So anyway, I got a new CPU fan on order. and I will replace it when it gets here. It should be coming with City Girl on Thursday. Yeah, so that works for now. As I said, just temporary. It was kind of cool. As soon as I plugged it in and it started blowing air on the heatsink or the CPU utilization went right to 100%. The temperature came down, eventually settled around 78 degrees. That's when I was rendering a video, so I knew instantly that that was the problem. Yeah, so it's helpful to know a little bit about computers. A little. J-Dog keeps trying to get me to upgrade my computer, but I can't really justify spending a lot of money on it. It does what I need it to do. It does take a little longer for rendering, but I can live with it. Yeah. So this is a New Air portable AC unit. The company was nice enough to send this to me last, was it September, October time frame? They sent it to me for free, so I would do a review of it. It was a terrible time to get it, though. By the way, I'll put up the link to that video up here so you can see it if you want. I'm not going to talk about the features and specs right now, because it's all in that video. Yeah, they were nice enough to send it to me for free. I couldn't do like a full review of it because it wasn't that warm out. It was kind of cool, actually, and the last thing we wanted was cold in the cabin. But this past weekend it got stinking hot, and Saturday we decided we're gonna run this thing, and it wasn't that sunny out, and I kind of like a full sunny day to run this because it runs at 1200 watts, and I know because I measured it with my power meter. But Saturday we decided we were gonna run it anyway, and I thought, well, we can't run it for very long because we're not at full power here, so I thought we'll bring it downstairs and we can at least sit in front of it for a while. And cool ourselves down. So I brought it here. I very quickly got some plastic wrap up here. What is this? This is vapor barrier is what this is, and I taped it up with duct tape around this window. Really kind of red-green style here, what I did. Anyway, I plugged it in, I turned it on, and by gosh, it really cooled the whole room down here. It was 32 Celsius outside, which is with the Humidex, because it was really humid. It was probably something like 44, 45 Celsius with the Humidex. Inside, it didn't get like cold or anything, but it was around 25, 26 Celsius. And the other thing it does is it removes the humidity in the air. So 25, 26 Celsius actually felt like 25, 26 Celsius instead of 44, 45 Celsius. We were ecstatic. It was wonderful. This little beast just ran, and yeah, it takes a lot of power, but it really cooled down the room, and we were so happy. And you could really tell because you open that sliding door at the back here, at the front, and this blast of humid air would hit you, and you'd think, "Oh my God!" and we'd come back in immediately. So great little unit. It works really well. And again, check out that video that I've linked up there, and I'll also put the. I'm sure I've put the model name in by now of exactly what it is. Yeah, really happy with that, and we will use that again. I know we will. People have asked if I put maple syrup on everything. And the answer is yes, but sometimes no. Maybe 60% of the time I'll put maple syrup on everything, but that 60% of the time is 100% of that time. So the answer is yes. Oh, bacon. Oh my God. So I'm gonna preface this by saying this is not nearly as dangerous as it's going to look. I say that now before I do it. I should say that after. This wasn't nearly as dangerous as it looked. Oh well, let's just go for it. easy. Ready for it? Oh, not too bad. Ideally what would happen now is I'd have one of those 10-minute thunderstorms where it just pours like an inch of rain in a very short time period. Help clean out the troughs. It's funny because when I first put the troughs up there, I thought I'd put a horrible slope on it. It looked like it was really steep from one end to the other, but it looked really bad because it was so, you know, like this. But now I'm thinking, it's terrible slope. Water's just sitting in there. I don't know how I did it so poorly. So when I take it off to put the fascia up there, I'll have to improve that. Whew, just a little sweat. Some nice big tomatoes growing. There's one. There's one. There's a bigger one back in here. Pretty happy about that. One of my favorite things is fresh tomatoes. I love them. And we got some other plants growing in here that shouldn't be here. Somebody's not been keeping up with the weeding. I guess that would be me. One of the odd benefits to having all these wild berries around is that right now it smells like strawberries around here. It's kind of nice, even though strawberry season is very much over. There's probably a few dangling around. Like these all through here are strawberries, wild strawberries. All these here are wild blackberries, black raspberries here and here and back here. These ones I'm actually watering. They're right in front of the deck here, so they're easy to water so that they don't dry out because we haven't had any rain lately. So hopefully they will produce lots. And here you can see we're just at the side of the cabin here. Lots of blueberries, and they're just ripening now. So I can actually pick these. Very carefully. Blueberries, like the black raspberries, grow everywhere around here. Lots of little blueberry bushes everywhere we go. The only downside is they're very small, and that's the same with all the wild berry plants around here. They produce very small berries. And not a lot of them either. And they're tasty. So I gotta ask, was that the most dangerous thing you've seen me do here, cleaning out the gutters and walking along the roof? Certainly not the most dangerous thing I've done since coming here. I mean, when I was actually on the roof, working on the roof, that's probably the most dangerous thing I've done. And just today, I will say it now, I can say it now easily, that wasn't all that dangerous because the roof isn't very much of a slant there. And I really probably didn't need the rope. It's just an extra balance measure because when you're doing that, you're leaning kind of out over the edge of the roof. So, made me more comfortable than anything just to hold on to it. Really good. I spent a few hours cutting firewood here. This is what it looks like now. This side is pretty much filled up, and this side has one row done in a bit. I calculated the whole thing out at about 3 bush cords if I filled it up. I don't think I've got enough wood to fill it up, but here's what I've got left. These logs over here. Well, that's a fair amount there, but I don't think that's enough to fill it up. There's a great big, that's probably the biggest one over there behind that tree. I don't think that's enough to fill it up, but I think that's enough for this winter. Just basing it on my feel for how much wood I brought in this year and how much wood I brought in previous years. And I still have the, over there, let's take a look. Not easy to tell, but this is all firewood. It looks like 2 rows, but it isn't. It's more of 1 row. I figure it's about half a bush cord. If I brought it all over there, it would probably fill up the rest of that space. Can't see, but yeah, it's pretty much 1 row. Definitely splitting is taking the longest time. So I definitely see a either a gas-powered wood splitter or maybe an electric wood splitter. I just don't want all the noise of a gas-powered wood splitter. But then if I get an electric one, can I use it in the wintertime if I need to? Decisions. Also, I don't like the straight. There we go. I don't like the whole cutting into rounds part with the chainsaw. There just seems to be no good way to do it. I mean, I carry the logs I can up onto the sawbuck and cut those, but the heavier ones, they just kind of lie on the ground, and I do what I can, but it just doesn't seem like the best way to do it. There must be a better way. I don't know what, if there was, I don't know what it is. I'm going to go in and take it easy for a bit and think about having a beer, maybe, while this airplane ruins my shot. What are you drinking, dog? Ew. Don't drink that. Let's go have a beer. So I'm actually on my second beer because I already tried filming this once and my focus was way off. And yeah, I'm also in my underwear now. So this is my second try doing this. I must apologize. When I was doing lunch, half the time the focus was off on that too, unfortunately. So it's one of those things where I could try and film it again, but I already had lunch, Anyway, I'm sorry about that. So I'm having a lime and lager in my favorite gel mug. And do you have a gel mug yet? If you don't, why don't you? Check out our Amazon store because there's a couple of gel mugs in there, and get them. And I think they're for like major sports teams or something. Who cares? It's a gel mug, and they're good quality. These last ones that I've been using are lasting great, and they're just a better quality than the first ones I had. Anyway, go buy one. You won't know what you did before you had one. Is that valid? Does that work? I don't know. Anyway, it was 5 o'clock the first time I filmed this. Now it's closer to 5:30. And I'm not sure what I'm having for dinner. Maybe a bachelor meal. I don't know. Something simple, probably, because I'm kind of tired. Junebug and Willow are over there lying down. Oh, Junebug. You good girl? You good doggers? You good doggies? Anyway, don't forget, everybody, we live stream Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. City Girl will be here. She's coming here tomorrow, tomorrow is Thursday. Yes, I started filming this on Tuesday, and today's Wednesday, and anyway, whatever. So, bring this video to a close. And that'll be it for this video. I guess that's what that means when I'm bringing it to a close. That's it. Anyway, TJ Miller, I saw what you did. Not cool, but you'll get my response shortly. Everybody else, thanks for coming out. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to leave a comment. I read every comment. I reply to a lot of comments. Here's typically what I do is I reply to most comments on the first day that the video goes live. After that, I don't quite reply to them as much. But I do read them. I read every comment, so don't worry. If you leave a comment, I will see it. And City Girl reads most of them as well. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Peace out. I can't move, but peace out, everybody. Junebug. Junebug. Come here, Junebug. Here she comes. Here she comes. Oh, there's my little girl. And there goes Willers. You good girl? You good doggies? You happy? Don't tell me you're happy.